What can you do if your libido is mismatched with your spouse? As it inevitably will be, because we have mismatched desires and drives for everything. How much we sleep, when we go to bed, what movies we like, what food we like, how much we like to exercise, when we like to exercise. And so it's understandable that our libidos are not going to be perfectly synced. But what do you do with that? And I think our attitude about it is a key factor. I'm going to read a comment from my video, which I will link above. How can someone say they're happily married if their sex life sucks? Before I read the comment, I want to distinguish between your sex life sucks because of the quantity or the quality. When I'm speaking of quantity, it's one person wants it twice a year, which is hardly ever, and one person wants it 3 times a week. We have a difference in quantity. Quality is different. Quality is one person wants to be central and connected and enjoy each other, and another person just wants it to be doggy style in the dark, ram bam, thank you ma'am, I don't want to look at you, I don't want to kiss you, you're an object for my release. So I'm giving the opposite extremes of what we consider the female and the male, although there are many men who want a sensual, connected experience with their wife, and the wife will just lay there like a starfish and say, just get it over with, or, oh, it's your birthday, I'll lay here, just do it quick. And the healthy man is going to be too turned off because, as they tell me, and I've talked to many men, it feels to them like RAPE and they cannot get hard. A healthy man wants the woman to enjoy herself. A healthy woman wants herself and the man to enjoy themselves. So in healthy sexuality, I want to enjoy myself. I want my partner to enjoy himself. And I want him to want me, and he wants me to want him. So it's a mutual desire for each other. And this desire can be sometimes hard to ignite, which is where the quantity comes in. But the quantity thing can be easily handled by the woman who has the lower libido, figuring out if there's some things she can do for him that would satisfy him, like a hand job. There are many sensual ways to do a hand job. Laying on him, cowgirl, reverse cowgirl, missionary. You can do different positions. And this lets the woman be close, emotionally close to the guy without needing to get turned on, because she's not turned on, but she can still enjoy the closeness. Or maybe watching him take care of pleasuring himself. I'm trying to make this YouTube friendly. If the woman has the higher libido and the man does not, he can also give her a hand job. If you do not feel like giving your partner a hand job or being naked with them, I think we have another issue. Like, why not? There seems to be some disdain or hostility or resistance to that skin to skin, body to body touch. But like I said, healthy people want their partner to want the sex also. They don't want someone who just lays there, who's just like, I'm just going to do it for you. And we do know that women who force themselves to have sex when they're not aroused, like because they grew up in the evangelical community, have the same rate of vaginismus as women who were assaulted. And it's like over 25%, because they're taught as young girls that their body isn't theirs, their body is for the man, and when you lose your agency and you cannot find your desire, you don't have any agency, you're not able to get aroused. So these are very harmful situations when we start demanding sex from our partner. I think this is a very bad road to go down, and demanding sex from someone requires a lack of empathy. You owe me. You must accommodate me. My libido matters more than your libido and your feelings. And if you don't accommodate me, I'm going to go elsewhere. It's entitled and controlling and grandiose. And this is the comment. I'm not going to read the gentleman's name. I'm remaking this video because I read his name on the first one. But if you go to that video, you'll find his comment. And he does acknowledge the mismatched libido, and that can be a problem. And his solution is, this is his solution, the lower libido person needs to accommodate the higher libido person. If they do not, then do not be shocked when the higher libido person goes elsewhere for satisfaction. So I think that the lower libido person can accommodate the higher libido person with doing a hand job, watching them masturbate, something like that. But I do not think that the lower libido person, if it's the woman, should be forcing herself to do like an oral or intercourse when she's not turned on. I think that's very harmful to have that attitude of like, oh, they should match my libido. Why doesn't the higher libido person try to match the libido of the lower libido person and figure out why they need to have sex 3 times a day, if that's what it is? Like, are you using sex to fill up some emptiness or to get some meaning or some recognition or attention that you could get some other way? What exactly are we talking about here for this example where someone can just demand that someone accommodate their desire for sex? Sexual interactions should never, I'm going to use should, I shouldn't use the word should, but I am, should never be, you must accommodate me. That's kind of rapey. So I don't know if that's what he meant, but I just thought it was a good kind of comment to look at, because there are also women who will offer themselves to be accommodating, these accommodating wives. Well, I'll just lay here. I've had men tell me, my wife said, I'll just lay here, just do it, just get it over with. Sometimes these women end up kind of getting into it, but they just lay there with their eyes closed. They seem like they like it. Sometimes it seems like they don't like it. To the average guy, they can't get hard because it just feels very rapey. They want someone who's interacting, who's enjoying, who's showing pleasure and desire and enthusiasm and playfulness. Like it's a exchange. It's like playing tennis, you volley. You know, if you're just playing tennis with someone that's just sitting there, so you have to hit the wall, that's no fun. It's no fun. You're better off just not doing it at all, I think. And if it's the woman who wants it and the man doesn't, there's really not much to do because he's not going to get hard. So how can the man accommodate her? I tell you, having sex with someone who's not into it is very bad. It's hard to get turned on. They're just closing their eyes and they're just going through the motions and they're just touching you and they don't really want to be there. And I don't know if that's what this gentleman is suggesting. How can you force someone to be enthusiastic and into it? How can you? And this attitude of needing to accommodate the person is a little bit off-putting and entitled and grandiose, I think. So to me, I think a discussion is really good about what do people really want out of sex? And what are some things that the lower libido person can do that would make the higher libido person feel valued? Sometimes the higher libido person just wants to know that they're desired, that they're wanted. And sometimes the woman just saying, hey, you know, I really desire you. Today I'm just not in the mood. Sometimes it's just that emotional touch that they're really looking for. But if they really do have a much higher libido, I would suggest that the woman is open to doing a hand job or something, but she might not. If the woman senses that the husband is so like, you must accommodate me or I'm going elsewhere, very demanding, so she has no agency, she's not allowed to find her desire, she's not allowed to have any agency or have her own yes or no valued, she's going to be too resentful to want to do anything, in my opinion. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think can be done when there is a mismatched libido? Like, what are some things that you have found that work in your relationship? And that would be very helpful to share with everyone. And thank you so much for watching my video.